Hello everybody and welcome to another guide and tutorial for the Golden Shot. Difficulty level is hard and we are going to play hole number 2 of the Eagle Peak 2. And then you may be thinking like, okay, this is a hole that usually are absolutely money. Like we have played the Eagle Peak hole 2 many times in Golden Shot and always with super good result. And that's because we were then able to play into a big funnel. Now, with Eagle Peak 2, they have moved the pin way more right, so we can't really catch the funnel as we have done before. This has led me to create a bounce up shot towards the pin, which is going to be extremely inconsistent. I can say like this though, with your free shot, and if you follow the guide properly, you will be getting yourself a chest. But would I recommend anyone to spend money on this one? No, not at all. It's only to spend money if you are in desperate need of Berserker balls, or that you feel that you have some changeover. You might want to see if you get Apocalypse cards and stuff like that. But in general, do not spend any money on this one. I don't like to tell people what to do with their money, but for me, this is an absolute no-go when it comes to investment. It took me a lot of time, a lot of money to create this guide, but that's because I want everyone that do have their free shot to be able to have a solid way of getting themselves at least something with that free shot, so you don't sit there in the end and not getting anything. Because going in here without having a guide will most likely result into you being extremely lucky if you get a chest or getting a chest. But now on to this one here now, Eagle Peak hole number 2. There's an Eagle Peak 2 hole number 2. Before we take a closer look at everything, make sure that you do hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification. For those of you that do want to improve your game in any game mode in the game, Checkpoint Challenge, Tour Play, and Tournament, especially the Tour Play, new rotation out, Tour 7 up to Tour 13 guides. Make sure to sign up, patreon.com/golfclashtommy. Link in the description down below. We have something for everyone and we'll continue to have so to help players improve their game with our premium guides. Alright, you can win the Obsidian chest for the hole-in-one. We do have the Amber chest for the yellow ring. We do have the Crimson chest for the red ring. We have Aqua chest for the light blue ring. And Cobalt chest for the dark blue ring. We're going to play Golden Long Iron every single time. We're going to make it simple for ourselves. We're playing an adjustment that's 1-to-1 -1. Meaning that you take the win that you have and then you subtract 1 from that. So look at the VPR table on that side. If you do have 7 miles per hour in wind, you adjust 6 rings. Super easy to follow and it's something that we'll continue to use when it comes to the Golden Shot. Press the question mark on the top right to get the frequently asked questions. If you do have more questions or you experience an error, make sure to send in a ticket to the Golf Clash support. So to not to forget, we need to have a look at the landing position as well. I always do that before we go and play the shot. So what we are going to do is that we're going to use this picture here, and this is what we're going to follow as our reference. Bottom of the yellow ring to be by the rough line, and then we're looking at the board guideline arc to point at the line between the bright and the dark green square row, and that is not maybe as easy to do, but do your best. The thing is though, if we're starting higher up, then we're going to force ourselves having 2 different landing positions depending on if we have crosswind, tailwind, or headwind. And I wanted to make sure that when it's already as difficult, par 3 here, that we do have 1 landing position regardless what wind direction we do have off tee. But now let's have a look at the videos and we start with shot number 1. So we're backing up. We have the bottom of the yellow ring to be by the rough line, tip of the ball guideline to point in between the dark and the bright green square row. You can also see, like as an extra reference, that our bullseye is somewhat aligned with the left side of the bunker. 1.9 top spin here and 6.7 miles per hour. Again, simple, is 5.7 rings as we do adjust 1-to-1 -1. So we make the adjustment and then we're gonna center the ball and hit perfect. And here I would say like this, the guide is obviously based on perfect balls as we do play into a very bumpy fairway and also a bumpy green. Great balls here or bad pull angles, off-centered balls and stuff like that when you try to center it is going to have an effect in a negative way. What I mean with that is like it's going to most likely bounce in a way that we do not really think it would. So it could miss miles left and it could miss miles right, but it can also be close to the hole. And that's the problem when it comes to inconsistent par 3s like this. So aim point, bottom of the yellow ring by the rough line, tip of the ball guideline to go in between the dark and the bright green square row. We do have a similar wind to what we had before, adding a little bit of left spin, and we to counteract that, 5.7 rings is what we're using. And I could see there as well, like I do pull pretty heavy in my opinion, so I feel that this is more or less like a 5.8, which obviously will have an effect when I'm not detailed and good enough on that pull. But still bounces on the fairway up onto the green, and you can see here now that we are rolling up, but we just stay short in line. That sucks, but we're getting the Aqua chest. Let's see what we do get in that one. The Amazon and some Berserkers as well. Now we do have a wind coming left to right with headwind, and the headwind is a little bit harder than the tailwind, and that's why we're gonna finish up with 2 shots in headwind. And the reason that the headwind is more difficult is that we're going to have to use overpower when we take our shot. So what we're doing is that we set the aim just exactly the same, and we are adding 2.2 topspin in this wind angle direction. 4.7 rings is what we pull, but to not have the headwind push the ball back, because when you do have a headwind, the ball guideline compresses, and that would make you land further back than where you aim. So if you do not use overpower here, you will have your first bounce in the rough, and then you will obviously not get any shots whatsoever. And that's why in all the headwind angles, we're using something called just before circle drop overpower. And what that means is that you do have, if you watch this video, you can rewind or watch the next one, is that when you do pull the ball back, you will notice that the circle jumps, and that's the draw, or it drops. Obviously it's called circle drop, but it drops, and then you want to be just before that mark. For those of you that had used that technique in tournament before will know what I'm talking about, but there might be players that are watching here that do not know what that is. That's why I'm trying to explain it in the best possible way. But the easiest way to understand is actually watch me do it now. You see, I'm moving the ball down. See how it jumps there? There's a small little jump there. And you can practice this one easily just to go into practice mode or in a friendly game if you do want to see it for yourself. It's actually a pretty clear jump of that one. But again, it's a technique and it's an extra element that is difficult to get completely accurate. But we need that overpower, otherwise we will be clipping the rough with our first bounce. Obsidian chest ×2 is what we're getting here. And let's see what we are having some Thor's hammer and some Berserkers there in the end. So there you do have the shots. We're gonna summarize and have a look at the text guide, and we do not have the text guide here, obviously. There we do have the text guide, and make sure that you do download it, or you just go to the video description down below, or you go to golfclashtommy.com. On golfclashtommy.com you do have loads of free content, and not just the golden shot, but the golden shot has an own specific page where you can find all the information for the golden shot. Shot structure is before spin, bottom of yellow by rough, the ball guideline to point at line between dark and bright green square row, and then you see in red text just before circle drop overpower in all headwinds. And that, to make that easier, we have also made the text of the spins red in the headwind angles, but also adding a box which should be displaying just before circle break, just before circle drop overpower. Scan the QR code for the access to the best guides on the market for all game modes. Yes, you will get to our Patreon page where we do have all our premium guides. Obviously, by scanning the QR code, you're not signing up automatically, but you get to the page where you see all the packages, and you can decide for yourself what package that will suit your game. And I can trust you that signing up to us will definitely strengthen and help you become a better player. So let's take a look at the spins, and the spins will be a little bit different than the logic that we usually are, and that's because I played this shootout and golden shot loads and loads of times, and that's because I wanted to have all the wind angles to somewhat have the best possible estimation of based of where the ball bounces, because the ball is not bouncing at the same place every single time, which creates different bounces, which in the end can be counteracted by using different spins. Direct tailwind 1.8 topspin, 1 right spin, left to right tailwind 1.9 topspin, no side spin at all, and right to left tailwind 1.9 topspin and 1.8 right spin. Direct crosswind left to right 2.2 topspin and 0.8 left spin. Wind coming right to left, direct crosswind 2.2 topspin, 1.3 right spin. Left to right headwind 2.2 topspin, no side spin, but circle just before circle drop, overpower. Direct headwind 2.4 topspin, 0.8 right spin with obviously just before circle drop, overpower. And in wind coming right to left with headwind 2.2 topspin and 1 right spin, and again just before circle drop, overpower. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this version of the Golden Shot. Eagle Peak to hole number 2, much more difficult than the one with the regular pin. So I would definitely, once again, like I said in the beginning, I do not recommend to waste money here trying to get all the chests if it's not that you are in desperate need of some Berserker balls. Thank you so much once again for watching. Make sure to hit the thumbs up on your way and also subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.